Welcome back everyone. Today we will be discussing the Jordan 1 Hyper Royal. Specifically, we will be discussing some release info, how to cop, and of course, some resale predictions at the end of the video. The Jordan 1 Hyper Royal releases on April 17th. Retail will be $170 for men's sizes, $130 for grade school sizes. Stock between all sizes combined worldwide is over 110,000 pairs. This is just around what we normally see for Jordan 1 highs, but this is less stock than what we just saw for the Jordan 1 University Blues, for example, but this won't correlate directly with the resale comparisons because there is a notable difference in demand as well, that of which we'll discuss later regarding resale. With the release info out of the way though, let's jump into how to cop these Jordan 1 Hyper Royals. Specifically for this how to cop, as usual, we'll be going in chronological order along with exactly how to efficiently manage your time and setup for this drop, since a lot will be going on at once. Prior to discussing the first come first serve online drops though, make sure you follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you for any urgent updates on these, such as the exclusive access that we already saw. Also, please make sure that you don't forget to sign up for the Flex app reservations when they do open up closer to the drop. This is one of the best ways to get pairs, as well as asking your local foot stores about their procedure for leftover pairs that don't get picked up. But now moving on to online first come first serve sites, we'll start with the US sites in chronological order, then we'll do Europe sites afterwards. This site list is very similar to the one in the last video, as well as the Jordan 1 University Blue list, so this should be good to refresh your memory. Normally, I would start by saying at 8 a.m. Eastern Time we should see Undefeated drop. However, they did announce the Raging Bull drop for 10 a.m. Eastern Time, so be on the lookout for a post a day before they drop. But if they don't post, then expect the usual 8 a.m. Eastern Time drop for Undefeated. Before this time, make sure you are signed into your Undefeated accounts, as it is required for the site to check out. Be ready to solve a checkpoint captcha as well. If you don't have access to a Shopify monitor, you can try refreshing the search page for AJ1 High, but your chance of copying will of course be very slim since it's a Shopify site at the end of the day. If it is 10 a.m. Eastern Time rather than 8 a.m. though, I would not suggest focusing your attention on here, as there are better opportunities, those of which we're about to discuss. So now moving on to the confirmed 10 a.m. Eastern Time drop times, this is where the actual fun begins as usual. Since there is a lot to focus on, I'm going to guide you and suggest to you how to efficiently manage your time as usual. First, I would suggest going for Hibbett at exactly 10 a.m. Eastern Time, since Hibbett will sell out rather quickly. For the link, just go to launches and click coming soon to find it, and of course I will tweet out the site list on my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you anyway. My biggest advice when going for Hibbett is to use Apple Pay on your mobile device for the most efficient checkout. Or as an alternative to Hibbett, you could choose to go for one or two Shopify sites to focus on at exactly 10 a.m. Eastern Time, since those will also sell out very quickly. If I had to choose two for you guys, I would normally suggest Jimmy Jazz and DTLR, since they do get relatively high stock and they do have a checkpoint as well. Normally I would stay away from suggesting Shop Nice, Kicks, or Shoe Palace because of that $27 shipping, but in this case that $27 won't matter due to the very high resale, that of which we'll discuss more later. Shoe Palace of both of these has not loaded yet, but I am confident that they will load closer to the drop. Also, remember the tip I did suggest for these sites regarding making add to cart links early. These sites do load variants beforehand. Just view page source, Control F to find your desired size, and add it into this format: domain/cart/variant:1. Feel free to watch my Bad Bunny Adidas video for a more in-depth review of this process. If you're in a group that sends Kith early links, you could also choose to go for Kith rather than these, since that will give you a slight edge as well. Be ready for a potential HCAPTCHA question pop-up as well if you do choose to go for Kith as your 10 a.m. Eastern Time site. But now, right after the drop is over, or even while you're waiting in the Shopify queue, I want you guys to enter in as many sneakers accounts as possible until around 10:03 a.m. Eastern Time. This is going to be your number one chance by far for copying these. But now, what's the most efficient way to cop off of Nike sneakers manually? These are currently loaded as a Leo drop. Leo drops essentially look very similar to a first come first serve, but they're actually just a 2 to 3 minute draw in disguise. Leo stands for Let Everyone Order. I actually made a full in-depth video which I'd highly suggest watch. There is much more to it. If you need to make more accounts, remember that Nike does require SMS verification, so you can't use the same phone number twice. You will have to ask a friend of yours to use their phone number and ask them for the verification code. However, if you rather not bother your friends, or you just want a significant amount of pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts in general, feel free to check out my site TARS. The link for that is in the description below for pre-verified Nike sneakers and Adidas accounts. After sneakers, it'll be around 10:04 to 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. At this point, you'll want to shift your focus onto foot sites and periodically checking Finish Line, JD Sports, and Snipes Snipes to see if you have passed Q. Make sure you have tabs set up for these sites beforehand. You should set them up as soon as you see my account or personals for you tweet out the links. This way, they're already ready to go and waiting in queue after sneakers. The key to copying on foot sites, which is Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, Foot Action, Eastbay, and Champs, is persistency, not exactly speed. However, as of the last half a year or so, manual has changed from very difficult to nearly impossible. Regardless, it's still worth trying at this time anyway, since there isn't too much going on after the sneakers drop anyway. As for Finish Line, JD Sports, and Snipes, as you're trying to cart on foot sites, just periodically keep checking your tabs to see if you have passed Q yet on any of these, on any of your Chrome users. When you do pass Q, it's pretty self-explanatory from there. Just try to add to cart and check out. Snipes did not load yet, however, I do suspect that they will be loading closer to the drop. That will conclude it for the US sites, but now moving on to the EU sites. Although many EU retailers are doing raffles, there are still some first come first serve drops that you should be preparing for. Obviously, the best drop for Europe, as always, would be Nike sneakers at 9 AM CEST. These are currently loaded as a Leo drop for EU as well, just like they are for US. It is extremely likely that Soulbox will also be dropping at 9 AM CEST as usual. If you have access to a Soulbox monitor, you'll definitely have a decent chance of copying manually here. Sometimes they tend to go live a couple minutes early. If not, I would suggest following more sneakers and personals for you on Twitter so you do get the notification for the direct link here. I would also suggest making accounts beforehand and being signed into an account for Soulbox. Zalando, Courier, and Snipe should also be dropping, but they have not loaded just yet. They have not loaded the product pages just yet. Regardless, I'm confident that they are going to be dropping. Then Offspring may also potentially drop too, although it's not confirmed. For Offspring, I would suggest enabling post notifications for their Instagram if you don't have access to a monitor. They're relatively fast at sending it out when live. Foot Locker will also drop. Try to use multiple Chrome users to pass Q. Foot Locker will probably be the worst drop as usual. Just leave tabs on it, and if you get through, you get through. It's pretty self-explanatory from there. That will be it for the how to cop portion of the video. Now moving on to the resale predictions portion of the video. Stock is around what we normally see for Jordan 1 highs. However, for Jordan 1 with demand of this caliber, this is slightly on the lower end actually. For example, the University Blue had slightly more stock than this, but I do suppose that those also did include the toddler and preschool sizes too. Speaking of demand, it is evident that the demand on these is absolutely insane. Bids are looking very, very high, even following the exclusive access, and sale volume is very, very healthy as well. However, the amount of bids in that upper range and sale volume is slightly lower than that of the University Blue, so despite the slightly lower stock, I still expect the University Blues to remain higher in resale. Regardless though, I certainly expect these Hyper Royals to be very profitable with a great margin in all sizes, grade school and men. Full throttle without a doubt, no holding back whatsoever. This one should definitely be a no-brainer for you guys. This is a huge drop, so brace yourselves, prepare your funds, and prepare your resources. Anyway, that'll conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Also, feel free to follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and personals for you so you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on the drop.